Good morning. Good morning. This morning we gotta have a talk. We gotta have a talk because a lot of stuff came out yesterday. A lot of new information. A lot of news regarding Warzone. The first thing is season three got delayed. Now they have delayed seasons before, so this part in itself is not surprising. Um, but it's everything that came out afterwards that was kind of a bit of a shock. At least to me, it was one point in particular. So season three was supposed to release on March 20th, and there has been a lot of build up to this because what initially began as a rumor and as leaks was kind of inadvertently confirmed. Verdansk was coming back. It's the OG Warzone map. It was the first map released when the Warzone mode was finally revealed. So March 20th, everyone thought, hey, we're gonna go back to Warzone. It's gonna be the OG map. We're gonna bring all that nostalgia back, bring back all the players. Everyone's gonna be happy to get back on Warzone. But then yesterday they said, hey, it's delayed. We want to give you guys the best experience. So we need 2 more weeks, right? So it went from March 20th to April 3rd. It's exactly 2 weeks. Now, a lot of the community, I would say most of the community, is basically saying, hey, this is great because if they delay it, that means they have time to polish it. They have time to make it perfect. And I do not agree with that sentiment, only because historically this company has not done good at any releases, whether they're on time or the few times, the number of times that where they have delayed seasons for whatever reason. Let me remind you guys, Verdansk was supposed to release this past November with BO6, and right before Warzone dropped, they made an announcement where they said, hey, we're delaying Verdansk, so for now we're gonna just port over BO6 and Omni Movement. We're gonna port it over to Urzikstan, which is the map we already had with Modern Warfare 3, which is last year's game. So okay, back then, remember, the community was like, all right, this is great. They're delaying it because they're gonna polish it. So fast forward, we're in March. We're thinking we're 2 weeks away, and now we get hit with another delay. Same reasoning. Hey man, we wanna have it ready. We want the best experience. All right, community still hopeful. Not me though. The community still hopeful. Yeah, man, we're give them time. I'd rather they delay it. I'd rather they wait. I'd rather they don't rush it. Historically speaking, these are not good signs for this company. Historically speaking, every time they've delayed something, it's because there was a major problem, and they basically just ended up using the delay time to get it to a workable version that still has problems, but a workable version. All right, take that to mean whatever, however you want to interpret that. So then, after this delay announcement, one of the better COD leakers, the Ghost of Hope, go follow him if you don't already. And when I say one of the better COD leakers, I say that because the Ghost of Hope, he's if you look at his tweets and stuff, he sounds like a genuine chill dude, and he's like 99% right. He doesn't really speculate in terms of like making stuff up. Usually what he says ends up being exactly as he has said it in the past. So he's very good. You could tell he's definitely a person who verifies his information, double checks, verifies his sources before he talks about anything. So I trust him. The community trusts him. So I'm a vouch for him. So this is what Ghost of Hope said yesterday. Exclusive details for Modern Warfare 4, this is Infinity Ward's next Call of Duty. So not this September, or not this October or September, but next year, because this year we're getting like BO7 or BO6 Part 2. We're getting like a second year of Treyarch, right? So next year, when we get Modern Warfare 4 from Infinity Ward, old gen support is going away. That means PS4s, I believe like the Xbox Ones, all them consoles that have been out for like 10 plus years, done with that. And I fully support this because I fully believe any of these consoles that are over 10 years old, with all due respect, we got to stop trying to make games for them. They don't have the proper hardware to be able to run these next generation games the way they're meant to. And so that means that developers and studios, they have to dumb down and force down a lot of their development just to get the games working on these old gen consoles, and it's hindering the capacity of these games both on PC and console. This goes both ways, because as long as we have crossplay, even PC players are going to be affected by that. So I'm happy about that. I love that. I said we should have been done 3 years ago with supporting old gen, but whatever. That's a different conversation. Engine being overhauled to address MW2 problems like visual clutter, etc. So if you played MW 2022, MW2 as in the recent one, first thing you noticed was Infinity Ward tried to bring in a lot of these realism aspects, a lot of gun shake, visual gun smoke, visual muzzle flash when you would fire a weapon. And not only did controller players hate that, but if you are a mouse and keyboard player, it made your life even worse because there was so much visual clutter between the flash and the smoke and the shake that you quite literally could not see what you were shooting in front of you. And I will venture to say a lot of engagements became very impossible to have because you quite literally could not see what was in front of you. So I'm glad. I'm all for realism, but there's just certain things that we also have to be realistic about. I like immersive gaming, but not to the point where like I can't see what I'm shooting, right? If I'm playing a shooter game, I still need to be able to see what I'm shooting. And I feel like MW 2022, it felt like a bit of an overcorrection for realism. Like they said, hey, we want to make it feel more real than MW 2019, which was their previous game, but they just turned the dial up a little too much, if you ask me. And that's all. The community was just like, hey, listen, we get what you tried to do, and we like it. Visually, it's nice, but for playability, really kind of terrible, right? So like we get it. There was an overcorrection there with the realism. So it looks like they listened, they got it, they understood. It was kind of universally hated, right? Like there was really no community that was like, yeah, this is perfectly fine. Like I said, a lot of people said it looked good. It looked good. But looking good and being playable are two different things. It looked good, wasn't really playable, right? So and then they said their next game is being developed on dev kits for the next Xbox. This ties into the first one, the no old gen support. So the next Xbox is rumored to be releasing in 2026. So because Microsoft owns Activision now, so there's been other rumors, and Ghost of Hope has tweeted about this. So there's been other rumors that the next Xbox is going to have like a bundle deal where you buy the next Xbox and you're going to get this Call of Duty with it, Modern Warfare 4, similar to what they've done in the past. They always have like these bundle deals. Buy this new console, get this Call of Duty. Go the PS5 right now has like a Fortnite bundle, so on and so on. So the next Xbox, that's why they're being developed on those dev kits, because they want to maximize the development of the game with the next generation of consoles. And then the big one. This is what's triggering this entire yap session right now. No Warzone 3 if Verdansk fails to retain current or returning players. This is a big deal, and I'm 50-50 on it, as in I kind of feel like, yes, part of me wants Warzone to go away in its current form, not in its original form, in its current form. What do I mean by that? In its current form, I feel like Warzone is doing too much. If you look at the evolution of Warzone from Warzone 1, Verdansk, to where we are now 5 years later, Urzikstan, the mode Battle Royale, just Battle Royale, not Resurgence, The battle royale mode for Call of Duty has become a saturated mess that just feels like multiplayer on a big map. That is a problem because I understand the Call of Duty community view Warzone as an arcade shooter. They view Call of Duty as an arcade shooter. But one of the things that I think we're forgetting in the middle of all this nostalgia trip we have with Warzone 1 and Verdansk, and 5 years into this, this experiment of Call of Duty with a battle royale, I think we're forgetting one of the things we loved about Warzone, even if we didn't realize it at the time. But if you really sit down and think about this realistically, if you take a moment for yourself and think about this, one of the things we liked about Warzone 1 is that Warzone 1 was simpler than what Warzone has become now 5 years later. There was less gadgets. There was less cheese, if we want to call it. Cheese being a very popular word in gaming. Warzone 1 was quite literally a very dumbed down raw battle royale for Call of Duty. You got your weapons, your loadout, you had a tactical, a lethal, a field upgrade. You had the gulag, gave you a chance to come back, and if you didn't, you had the buy station. You had a chance to buy your teammates back. And then you had the vehicles around the map for rotations and movement, transporting around the map, right? Very basic game loop. Everyone enjoyed it. Everyone had their favorite landing spots. Everyone basically had rotations mapped out that they liked. Now, at the end of Verdansk, because we ended up having Verdansk for almost 2 years, we have Verdansk and then we have Verdansk 84. I clearly remember the community was kicking and screaming, we need a new map, which agreed. One of the things about battle royales, if you look at any other game on the market, Fortnite, Apex, PUBG, the list goes on, is the change of scenery. Changing the map is important. Changing the POIs on the map is important because that's how you keep the game from going stale. Warzone 1 began to get stale because we were on the same map for 2 years. Literally, we were on the same map for 2 years. So that began to get stale. And so people thought that it was the gameplay loop that was getting stale. But no, it's the fact that we just kept seeing the same things over and over and over and over and over again. And on top of that, exactly, Fear God. Warzone 1 just looked different. It felt different. It had a different shine, or rather lack thereof. I've always said, and I will continue to say, what IW did with their visuals and their graphic designs for Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone 1 was quite literally a work of art. And I will argue that till the death. I think visually, Warzone 1 just, to me, still is the best looking Warzone we have had up to date. No other version of Warzone, Caldera, Al-Mazrah, Urzikstan, no other version of Warzone has looked as good as Warzone 1. In Warzone 1, I never had a problem seeing people. I never had a problem seeing enemies. I never had a problem with shadows or this or that, with the exception of the rose skin, but that's a different problem. That's an operator problem. I never had a visual problem. Never had an audio problem, for that matter. You could hear people running above you, below you. We didn't have these issues with Warzone 1. And 5 years later, everything has gotten worse. You can't see people. You can't hear people. You look out in the distance. You can't tell if you're looking at a tree or you're looking at a person standing. You can't tell, hey, is that a bird or is that someone in a parachute? Everything is just worse 5 years later. Everything is just worse. And that's why no Warzone 3, if Verdansk fails to return players, I understand why people don't want to play Warzone. Like I speak for myself. The game has become worse. Visuals, graphics, audio, all of that has become worse, and the game has too much junk in it. It is a saturated junk pile. We have, for example, 3 versions of gas grenades. We have gas grenades, gas canisters, shock sticks, shock charges, mine traps, mines that jump, bouncing betties. It's just a saturated mess of assets. We have over 100 weapons in the game right now because we have BO6, MW2, and MW3 weapons in the game right now. And guess what? You can only use like 6 weapons because the other 93 are useless. It's like, it's become a saturated junk pile. You know that little junk drawer we all have in our houses where you just, over time, it's just cables and junk and pens that don't even work and broken pencils and paper clips? That's what Warzone has become. It has become the junk drawer in your house. And then people are wondering, like, man, how come nobody wants to play Warzone? How come nobody ever goes to the junk drawer, right? Because it's junk. It's junk. We know it's junk. That's why. And it's just like, it doesn't even feel like the same game. If you got to play Warzone 1 and then you played Warzone 2, like you said, Fear God, and then we fast forward all the way till now, it doesn't even feel like the same game made by the same company. And to me, that alone is a problem. That's a gigantic red flag. Like, the sirens are going off. Playing Warzone now to playing Verdansk Warzone 1 5 years ago, it doesn't even feel like the same company made both of those two games, right? And in my opinion, if we're gonna save Warzone, if we're gonna save Verdansk when it comes back on April 3rd, we need to get rid of the clutter. We need to simplify Battle Royale. I know a lot of content creators, they want to do the whole high kill game. They want to get 100 kills in a game. But listen, the fact of the matter is, no disrespect to any of those players, but if you're catering to those players, this is why you're going to kill your game. This is how you're going to kill Warzone. Somebody's need to get a dopamine fix should not dictate how the game is developed for the 99%. And I feel like this is another problem. This is how we got to the saturated, bloated junk mess that Warzone became. Because over the years, we listened too much to the high dopamine players. Because if you think about it, starting with Warzone, with Modern Warfare 2022, oh, hey, we want more chances to come back. Like, what if we had like a flare? Boom, they added flares to the game. And then what happened? There were flares everywhere, and the game became pointless because everyone was just not afraid to push, not afraid to die. Nobody valued their life because they knew, hey, every one of my teammates has 17 flares in their gigantic backpack, so they're just gonna flare me back 10 times if I keep dying. And then from flares, they pushed it to, hey, what if we had more chances to go to the gulag? So then they did gulag tokens. And then gulag tokens were everywhere. You could even buy them in the buy station. Once again, the high risk of a battle royale was taken out. There was no longer a risk in playing battle royale because you had 101 ways to come back. I don't even think Microsoft is trying to fix it, Fear God. I think Microsoft just saw a profitable company and they made a business investment. And that's why Microsoft bought Activision. Activision was worth $72 billion, right? Call of Duty alone makes anywhere from $2 to $4 billion a year. I think Microsoft just said, hey, they're profitable. They make a lot of money. We'll just buy them and we'll take a piece of that pie. But, getting back to this Warzone thing, it's like, now, granted, okay, no, before I get back to this, I want Microsoft to get more involved with the server stability, providing better servers, because last time I heard, I believe a lot of these studios were still using like Google servers and Amazon AWS, and I wish they were all on Microsoft's infrastructure because I feel like the servers would play a lot better if they got Microsoft servers. Yeah, I hope by the time Infinity Ward gets around, they're on Microsoft servers, and we don't have to worry about server lag or packet loss anymore. What up, 50? Yeah, Warzone had an identity. And I feel like they lost that. They started to integrate too much stuff. They got too involved into the skins. But even the skins, what's crazy about the skins? The skins in Modern Warfare 2019, they were still fun, but they stayed true to the theme, right? Like they were very tactical. They were mysterious. A lot of characters had like these little cloak hoods, and the guns were still mysterious with the tracers. And they didn't really lose sight of that. Like, hey, we're gonna make bundles and we're gonna make skins, but we're gonna keep it to the theme of what this game is, right? It's a shooter game. And I feel like if you look at BO6, it's like we got unicorns running around, which don't play to anything. We got the Ninja Turtles, which, what do the Ninja Turtles have to do with Call of Duty, right? Nothing. It's like, I just feel like we got so far away. And the pricing is out of control. So these skins went from $20 to now they're up to $30. And you might not think $10 is a lot, but a $10 spike for the same things we had before, an operator, 2 weapon camos, and a charm. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not paying an extra $10 for that. So, you're right. All these new skins have gotten so far away from its identity, on top of the fact that they want to charge more money for them. It's just like, no, like I don't want to be a part of that. And so I just feel like we gotta strip it down. We gotta go back to what it was. Yeah, the Gorilla Fist, $80. You had to buy 4 bundles just to be able to get the Gorilla Melee Fist. So there was no way for you to get this weapon unless you spent $80. Insanity to me. The game doesn't even cost $80. I want you to think about that. The game costs $70, but to get one melee weapon, you had to pay more than the entire game. Yeah, no, I'm good with that. I'm not buying that. And I didn't. So, but Warzone has lost its identity. It's lost its look and feel. It's become the junk drawer in your house. It's too much stuff. It's too many. It's the flares. It's the tokens. There's zip lines everywhere. So nobody even runs anymore. You just fly across wherever you want to go on the map. Like, we're all just birds out here. You want to get to the other side of the map? Just take a zip and fly. You want to go back to where you came from? Just take a zip and fly. That's not Battle Royale. This is why the game has gotten stale. And anyone who doesn't want to admit that is fooling themselves. What we loved about Verdansk was the simplicity of Verdansk. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling the entire community, what we loved about Verdansk was how simple it was. Think about it. We started hating Warzone when they kept adding more and more and more stuff. When they added more guns, we didn't have more fun. When they added more gadgets, we didn't have more fun. When they added more zip lines and more flares and more tokens and more jailbreaks and more second chance gulag events, we did not have more fun. Why? Because it's just too much stuff happening. We just want to play a video game. It's a video game. Yo, at the end of the day, it's a video game. I've been playing video games my entire life. I just want to play a video game. I feel like the video game is playing me half the time. And it's just like, again, no disrespect, but please, we got to stop listening to these content creators who just want dopamine fixes, who are like, hey, I want 400 players in BR so I can get 500 kills per game. What up, PG? Like, we need to stop listening to those people. Like, I'm sorry that you need your dopamine fix, but we can't design a game around one singular personal preference. We need to design a game. If you're gonna market a game to millions of players, then we need to design the game for millions of players. We can't design the game for 25 players who just want a dopamine fix. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, and this is not personal, but I'm sorry. Nah, hey, Dirt, I'm sorry. PS4 is like 13 years old. All right, PS4 is like 13 years old. Like, I'm sorry. It's time. It's time to upgrade. It's time to upgrade. You've had time, Dirt. You've had time. All right? I'm sorry. You've had like 13 years to upgrade. So, just saying. And matter of fact, not even. You're going to have like 14 years because this is for 2026. Nah, I get it. Yeah, PS6 is coming. You know, the next Xbox is coming. So this is all for 2026. So look, you still got all of this year, and you've had the previous years like to upgrade. Like, I get it. I'm sorry, it's expensive. I'm not. Everyone's finances are different. I get it, but like PS4 is like 13 years old. So yeah, 50. No, you're right. And I mentioned that earlier. In 2022, when Infinity War dropped, Modern Warfare in 2022, I just feel like it was an overcorrection of realism, right? So like they tried to do realism, but they just went too much with it. And so now they addressed this. They said the engine being overhauled to address MW2 problems like visual clutter. You know, I said it earlier. I'm not sure what part of the stream you hopped in here, but it looks like they realized their problem, right? They did too much, basically. They understand they did too much. Like, people, the whole community basically said, like, hey, it looks cool, right? It looks cool. The gun shakes and all that. It looks cool, but the game is not playable. So we prefer the game be playable than for the game to just look cool. And so at least they're acknowledging this, right? Right here in this point. At least they're saying, all right, we get it. We did too much with the realism. We gotta tone it back a little bit. Now I get it, Dirt. Like, I'm right there with you, right? Like, I had to, my son, he doesn't like consoles, unfortunately. I had to get him a PC a couple years ago. So I get it. It's an investment, and stuff's not cheap. So I feel your pain. But the thing is with these next generation games and the graphic that the amount of graphics they're putting into it, the amount of like just processing that it takes for the visual fidelity, it's just like they just can't make it on the old consoles anymore. Like, that's really what it is. And I get it from a technology point of view. I get it. They just can't. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Warzone gets saved from this, because like I said, if they don't strip things down and they don't go back to the simplicity of Warzone 1 and just let us focus on the gameplay, just like if you remember playing every COD since the beginning of Call of Duty, every multiplayer COD we've ever played, what was fun about it? That you could just get on a game, whether you were playing by yourself after school, whether you were playing with friends, it don't matter. Cousins, brothers, sisters, it doesn't matter. The fun about COD was just getting on the game and running around multiplayer and shooting people. You didn't overthink it, right? It was just fun. Trying to drop nukes, trying to get calling cards, trying to prestige. It was just fun. You got on the game, you played. That was the gameplay loop. But now we're doing, with Warzone at least, not multiplayer, with Warzone, we're doing too much to Warzone. It's just a battle royale. You know what a battle royale is? It's just a big-ass map with guns around the whole map, and the last man standing wins. That's it. That's the whole logic of a battle royale. And Call of Duty just went way too fucking far left field with it. Flares and tokens and second chance tokens and third chance tokens and jailbreaks and zip lines and another zip line, and you could buy a zip line and you could throw a zip line and you could pick up a zip line and a camera and a turret and a sentry. It's just so much clutter. Like, yo, can I just play the game? Like, I just want to play the game. Like, I don't want to manage inventory. I just want to play the game. Yeah, so they went back to 150 people on Big Map, and that's my point, right? If we're going to go back to 150 players, then we got to get rid of all that stuff, all those flares and tokens and all that. We got to get rid of all that, because now we're adding more players. Actually, 50. I'm glad you said that because this was another thing. There's another tweet. I don't have it up, but there's another tweet that the reason why Infinity Ward might not make Warzone if Verdansk fails, they said specifically that it's because if Warzone fails, Infinity Ward is gonna focus on DMZ. They're gonna make multiplayer and they're gonna go all in on DMZ. They're not gonna do Warzone at all. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think Infinity Ward, they don't want to make Warzone. I think they want to make their milsim, like you said. I think they want to make their tactical milsim, which is DMZ. And so that's why I secretly think IW wants Warzone to fail. And you know what? If we don't fix Warzone, like I said, if we don't strip it down, I don't even want to play Warzone if it keeps going the way it's going. I would rather play a really good DMZ, if I'm being honest. Yeah, nah, Fear God, they gotta get rid of that too. This is what I'm saying. It's all that cheese. Like, yo, let's get rid of the cheese. Let's just go back to the gameplay loop. Let's just enjoy the game the way we used to. Just be able to get on a game, go shoot, grab some guns, rank up your weapons, get some camos, shoot some enemies. That's it. Let's just go back to what Call of Duty is. Get all these gadgets out of the game. Get all this second chance stuff out of the game. And that's it. Listen, if you're a player who finds Battle Royale boring, you don't have to play Battle Royale. You could stay to multiplayer. If you want to play DMZ because you like that kind of gameplay, great, then go play DMZ. Like, there's so many modes for everyone. And basically, so that's basically the problem we ended up with, right? They want to make 5 different game modes, let's say BR, Resurgence, Ground War, DMZ, and multiplayer. But the problem is 5 years later, they want to make every mode feel the same. And to me, it's like, that's stupid. Why would I have 5 modes that all play the same? Every mode should feel different. When I play DMZ, it should not feel like Warzone. When I play Warzone, it should not feel like Resurgence. When I play Resurgence, it should not feel like multiplayer. Every mode should feel different. And we're at the point where if I play COD and you didn't know what was happening, you wouldn't be able to tell if I'm playing Resurgence or Battle Royale or multiplayer because it all looks and feels the same. Yeah, I think the whole system needs a rework. The camo grind needs a rework to retain players, but it still needs to be fun and enjoyable. We have to go backwards. We literally have to go backwards. I think Call of Duty has had an overcorrection of things, and that's what's killing the game. Like, they keep blaming players. They keep saying, "Oh, retaining players," but I'm like, you guys need to understand why you're not retaining players. Battle Royale helped in the beginning, PG, but what we have now is not even Battle Royale. What we have now is multiplayer on a big map. It's Resurgence on a big map. This isn't even a Battle Royale anymore. It's complete junk. It really is. It's complete junk. This is not a Battle Royale anymore. I think the Battle Royale could work, but it just has to be simple. It just has to be simple, and stop listening. I'm telling you, stop listening to the people who just want a dopamine fix. I don't care. No disrespect to Aiden or any of those guys, but I get it. These are the guys, like, they need that dopamine fix. Like, Aiden went out the other day and he played, like, I forget how many hours, but he played for a while. He dropped like 71 kills one game, 75 kills another game. He dropped 81 kills another game. And I'm just like, bro, that's not Battle Royale. That's the problem. You guys think those guys, and again, no disrespect, Aiden is a good player. I watch him on, I follow him on Twitch. But those guys don't want to play Battle Royale. Those guys want to play multiplayer on a big map. That's really what that is, bro. They want to play multiplayer on a big map. And I get it, because they need the dopamine, and they're streamers and they gotta create content. But like, the reality is, like, if I were a developer, I couldn't sit there and be like, I need to develop a game that's gonna hold the attention of a player like Aiden, because what happens to everybody else? What happens to everybody else that isn't trying to get 70 kills, right? They have to be able to enjoy the game too, right? So they're the one-offs, unfortunately. They are the one-offs. They are the few who they have a particular playstyle, but I'm sorry, the game cannot be developed for their one-off particular playstyle, because guess what? This is why we can't retain players. Like, you know what I'm saying? The answer is in our faces. When people wonder, like, damn, how come nobody wants to play? Because we've been catering to the 1%. Kind of ironic what's happening to the goddamn country. We've been catering to the 1%, and the 99% feel left out. So guess what? The game is dying. And everybody keeps asking, man, how can we save this game? Stop catering to the 1%. The answer is in your face. Like, again, no disrespect to those players, but we cannot make the game revolve around your personal need, because you guys are the 1%. Listen, there is not a single game that will survive off just the 1% of its player base. When the 99% leave, that game dies. Want me to give you an example? X-Defiant. All right? X-Defiant. Everybody left. Only 1% of the player base was left. Guess what? Game can't survive. Game's dead now. The game came and went because only the 1% were playing it. We're doing the same thing to Warzone. Stop catering to the 1% of players. I'm telling you. You want to save Warzone? You got to make it like the original Warzone in 2020 when it first came out. And yes, I know lockdowns had a lot to do with it, but I'm telling you, the one thing that I'm not hearing anybody talk about, the one thing that everybody's forgetting, the one thing that nobody's mentioning, we loved Warzone 1 because it was simple. It was simple. You drop in, you get money, you get your loadout, you look for teams. That's it. No gadgets, no flares, no tokens, no zip lines, no zips, no redeploy packs, none of that. Simple gameplay loop. Big map, 150 players, get your weapons, get cash, look for other teams. That's it. That too, no build diversity. Again, we have 150 guns in the game right now. And every single gun is made the same exact way, but only 7 guns are usable. Why do we have 150 guns, but we can only use 7, and all 7 of them are built the same exact way? I remember, I'm glad you said that, 50. I remember Warzone 1, people running the sniper with the thermal scope. I remember people running the ARs like SMGs. I remember people running the SMGs with just hipfire builds so they could move a certain way. There was so much diversity in Warzone 1, and so many different weapons. I remember Warzone 1. You run the Kilo, but I run the M13. You run the MP5, but I like the MP7. You like the M4, but I like the Grau. Bro, there was so much diversity. And again, because it was simple. It was simple. Like 50 said, it was simple, and there was diversity in the weapons. We didn't have all this crazy shit. 19 attachment guns. No, I don't need 19 attachments, bro. I don't need 19 attachments. Just give me 3 or 4 good attachments. A magazine, an optic, a barrel, and a fucking muzzle. I'm good. Bro. We were good with that in Warzone 1. We were good with that, right? Nobody said, man, I wish I could put 12 attachments on my M4. Nobody ever said that. Nobody ever asked for that. Why did we do that? We don't even need aftermarket parts. First of all, with the exception of like 2, we had like 12 aftermarket parts. And only 2 of them were good. All the other ones were junk. So again, waste of time, waste of attachments. It's just like, bro, can we keep it simple, please? If you want to save Warzone, we need to go back to the roots, bro. We need to go back to the roots. Simple guns, simple gunsmith. Variety. I want to be able to use more than 2 guns. I don't want to use 2 guns for 6 months. Give me variety. When I used to get on MW 2019, whether it was multiplayer or Warzone, I could, you know how many different weapons I could play with? I'd be like, yo, today I'm gonna play with the M13. Today I'm gonna play with the Grawl. Today I'm gonna play with the M4. Every day was different. Today I'm gonna play with the Kilo. Today I'm gonna snipe with the HDR. Or today I'm gonna snipe with the AX50. Today I'm gonna snipe with the Car 98. There was so much variety in Warzone 1. And now, if you try to play the game right now and you're not using one of the 4 meta guns, you're wasting your time because you're gonna die. You're gonna die. And then they want to wonder, like, oh, you know, how come players don't want to play? Because the game is boring. The game is stale. I pay $70 for the game and I gotta use 2 guns. Like, come on, man. Like, this isn't hard to understand why, hey, why can't we retain players? The game is boring. And it's too much junk. It's cluttered, bro. It's the junk drawer in your house. Like, you know there's a USB charging cable in there, right? You know it's in there, but there's so many cables that you can't even find it now. So you just get frustrated and just go buy a new cable. But you know you have one. You know it's in the drawer somewhere, right? But you're just like, bro, I don't got time to be going through this drawer. And that's what Warzone feels like. You drop into Warzone and you're just like, oh shit, what should I run? This tactical, this lethal, this gun, this attachment, which optic, this one, that one. Bro, I don't have time for that, bro. I just want to turn the game on and play with my friends and just chill and just talk shit for the rest of the day. Like, that's all we want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's all we want to do. You know, like Dirt said earlier, he plays with his son. We just want to get on and play, you know, play whether you're playing with your kid or playing with your friends or whoever. We just want to get on a game and play. I don't want to get on a game and start doing calculus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that shit. We got to start calling people. Yo, what was that meta attachment, bro? What was that new attachment? What should I do? I just want to get on the game and play. I'm doing, like, I feel like I'm filing taxes trying to play Warzone now. You know, I'm losing gunfights and then to find out, oh, I'm running the wrong stock because that stock is not meta. Oh, well, this whole gun is useless now because of an attachment. Yeah, balance out all the weapons, bro. Think of like BO4 and BO4. So they had Blackout, right? They had the Battle Royale. It was all ground loot. You just picked up a gun and played, which is the way all Battle Royales are. If you play any other Battle Royale, like I said, I used to play PUBG. You know, look at Fortnite. It's all ground loot. I'm not sitting there ranking up weapons, finding meta attachments. It's all ground loot. And you can fight with anything. Bro, it's wild, bro. It's wild. People really, you gotta sit here for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, just, nah, hold on, I gotta set up my loadouts. Bro, you're taking an hour just to set up loadouts? Like, this isn't even fun anymore. We're not even playing a video game. Like I said, like, it's a job. This is literally a part-time job, but we don't get paid here. We pay them. The game's not fun, and people really wondering, like, we don't understand why we can't retain players. Y'all don't understand because y'all being ignorant, because the answer is right in front of you why we can't retain players. It's too much crap in the game. It's too much crap in the game, bro. Like, it's too much. Strip it down. Strip it down. Take stuff. Like, when I say take stuff out, I mean, yo, take stuff out. Remember Pimp My Ride on MTV? First thing they did when they got those little hoopty cars, they started stripping stuff out of those cars. Now, granted, they went too far and put too much shit back in. But, you know what I'm saying? The first thing they did was take stuff out of those cars. Yo, we got to strip it down, bro. We got to strip it down. We got to strip it down. Warzone has too much clutter, bro. Has too much clutter. So, and that's why the game is dying. You want to save Warzone? Let's go back to Warzone 1. Gun variety, simple gunsmith. Take all the gadgets out of the ground loot. All the flares, the tokens, the zips. Take all that. Take all of that out. Make people run across the map. Make people take a vehicle across the map. Go back to the days of Warzone 1. Less is more. You've heard that your whole life. At different points in your life, I know you've heard it. Less is more. I'm telling you, there's a reason why that phrase exists. It's not hyperbole. Less is more. I'm telling you. So, yeah, and the thing is, the only target audience will always have to be the middle. Because if you cater to the top players, we end up where we are now. And if you only cater to the bad players, and I mean like the really bad players, then you end up with like a Modern Warfare 2022 where the game is super slow and nobody likes it. You have to cater to the middle. There's a happy middle where everyone has to sacrifice something, but the game is playable. Yeah, no, I don't want any cartoonish stuff. First of all, I don't even think Treyarch should be designing anything anymore. Like, let's be for real. If Treyarch never designed anything ever again, that would be okay with me. I think nobody does a better job of design than Infinity Ward. Nobody does a better job than Infinity Ward, and we can argue that till you turn blue in the face. Nobody designs better than Infinity Ward. I don't care what anybody says. Prove me wrong. If you're gonna argue that, prove me wrong. Nobody designs better than Infinity Ward. Treyarch does too much cartoony stuff. I'm done with it. It's 2025. I'm not a kid anymore. I get it, kids play this game, but again, this is what I'm talking about, the happy medium. Stop giving me cartoon mil sims because Fortnite does it. Fortnite is for a different audience, and Fortnite has a different purpose. It has a different purpose. It's not just that it has a different audience. Fortnite serves a different purpose. Call of Duty and Fortnite are not the same games just because you use guns. So that's another thing people need to get out of their heads. Different games, different purpose. Yeah, we got to treat Warzone for what it is. I love DMZ. I think DMZ should definitely go all in for that crew. Ground War, go all in for that crew. Like for DMZ, I played DMZ a lot and I loved it. It was slower. It was inventory management. It was really like, yo, you had to communicate with your team. Hey, can you drop me this? Do you have that? Talking to other teams that were in the area. Yo, does anybody have a dog tag? I'll trade you for this. I love that. DMZ, go all in on that mode. Go all in for that type of player. Ground War. It's the guys who, like, if you came from Battlefield or you played Battlefield, you understand Ground War, it's its own thing, right? Go all in on that mode. But Warzone is the one mode where you gotta meet. Everybody has to meet in the middle. Everybody. If you play DMZ, if you play Resurgence, if you play multiplayer, if you play zombie, Warzone is the literal mode where everyone has to meet in the middle. But DMZ, hell yeah, go all the way Milsim with that shit. Listen, I wish they spent more time on DMZ. I genuinely enjoyed that mode. It was chill. You could sit back. There was no pressure. You wasn't out there, slide canceling DMZ. No. You just talking with your people, with your team, and you just chilling. You literally, again, DMZ reminded me of the days of just getting on and playing a video game stress free. I could take my time. It wasn't about speed. Hey, here are my mission objectives. I gotta find these items. Boom. Chill. I'm having a good time. No pressure. I love it. So those kind of modes, hell yeah. Crank it up. Cater it to that kind of player. I'm all for it. The raids were fun, and yo, they were hilarious. And the raids, again, they made you play with a team. You couldn't do the raids by yourself, and you had to communicate with the raids. So again, go all in on these modes. But Warzone has to be the middle. It has to be the middle, and it has to be simple. Like, strip it down. No big backpacks, no none of that. Again, the backpacks, leave that to DMZ. The weapon tuning and all that, if you want to add weapon tuning, I should only be able to weapon tune in DMZ. Because, again, it's a different playstyle. I'm doing missions, right? So, in a DMZ mission, I want to be able to say, yo, I have to tune my sniper because in this mission, you know, I got to take out the guards and my teammate is going to go get the briefcase, blase. Give me tuning for that, but leave it out of Warzone. I don't need tuning in Warzone. I don't want it. You know, so that kind of thing, that's where I think Call of Duty lost its vision. It was trying to mix all the game modes all together, and that's why it didn't work. Because it's just like, yo, when I was playing Modern Warfare 2022, when I was playing Warzone, I felt like I was in DMC. Like, I had a big ass backpack and I'm managing inventory and I'm tuning weapons, and I'm like, I'm doing too much in Warzone. I'm doing too much, bro. I shouldn't be doing all this in Warzone. Warzone should just be get my guns, get some cash, and look for teams. That's it. I shouldn't have to worry about nothing else. So it's like, I know how we save Warzone. I'm pretty sure that these devs know how to save Warzone. They're just being naive because they're too busy listening to certain content creators who are trying to make the game cater to themselves and not the community. They'll tell you they want it for the community, but the things they ask for are not for the community. And that's how you could tell. You could tell by the things they ask for, not what they say. They keep saying, no, we want a game for everybody. You know, the game should be for casuals too. But as soon as they start asking for stuff, they start asking for stuff that will never help the casuals. And that's how you realize, like, nah, you want the game for you. You're just saying shit. I would love that. Yo, I'm going to tell you straight up, that's one thing that Battlefield 2042, man, I love that. I love that in the middle of battle, I could just be like, yo, I'm going to change this red dot optic to a 3x. Boom, boom, boom on my AR. I love that. That part, you got me there. I would want that in Warzone. Yeah, exactly, 50. Let's go back to that. This is what I'm saying. This is you see, you're saying what I'm saying. Let's go back to the simple days of Warzone 1. If you wanted 2 primary guns, you had to go get overkill. And yo, we don't need 27 perks, bro. There should only be like 6 perks in the game and you pick 3. Fast hands, fucking ghost, mountaineer, restock. You know, whatever the basic ones were. Like, yo, let's just get rid of all the junk that we have. I don't even something as simple as that, to having 2 primaries, that should not be there by default. I don't care what anybody says, again, because people are forgetting the thing we loved about Verdansk was the simplicity. I have not heard anybody say it, and I'm telling you, this is why nobody can figure out. I've seen 100 podcasts, I've seen 100 videos, I've seen 100 tweets, and everybody keeps asking, what's wrong with Warzone? And I'm telling you, it's because it's not simple anymore. Warzone is boring because it's not simple anymore. I mean, what's more casual than that? What's more casual than being able to just turn the game on and start playing? Right? Right now, a casual player can't do that, bro. No, but that's what I'm saying, 50. Like, simplify it. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to do that. You should just, like, you gotta go run overkill. That's what I'm saying. Like, simplify it. Yeah, Warzone 1, I'm telling you, that downtime between fights, like, that shit mattered, man. It mattered a lot. The downtime when you would finish fighting a team, if you would win that fight, yo, that downtime to be like, oh shit, yo, we team wiped them. All right, who got some plates? Yo, who got an ammo box? Or yo, let me go loot this house real quick, bro. I need more ammo. That downtime was so important to the gameplay loop. And that's what I'm saying, because in other battle royales, you have that. Yo, ask PG. I don't know who else plays Fortnite here, but PG is a big Fortnite player, and that was a big thing that's a big thing in Fortnite. You fight somebody or you fight a team and you win, and then it's, oh shit, anybody got any minis? Anybody got any bottles? Boom, boom, boom. You're all healing up. And yo, who got any med kits? That time is so important between fights to the gameplay loop, to the psychology of the mode, right? And that's why I say, when you have all these Warzone streamers that are just like, yo, push everything, fight. It's like, bro, y'all just want to play multiplayer. All you're doing, you're describing multiplayer to me. It's just shoot, die, respawn, shoot, die, respawn, shoot, die, respawn. Bro, that's multiplayer. That's not Battle Royale. That's not Warzone. Like, y'all want to play multiplayer on a big map, but y'all just don't want to admit it. Like, yo, I'm telling you, why do you think Fortnite is the way that it is? Why do you think Apex has their maps are smaller, but why do you think they don't have 150 players in Apex? Why do you think Fortnite doesn't have 150 players? Because they understand the value of the gameplay loop. They understand the value of the highs and lows of the game. The highs are when you're fighting. The lows are when there's no fights going on. You and your team are talking, you're chilling, you're regaining, and you're planning your rotation. Every good battle royale understands gameplay loop. Why do you think no one's talking about Fortnite dying? No one's talking about Apex dying. PUBG is like 10 years old, and people are still playing PUBG. Why do you think those games are not dying, and Warzone in 5 years, we're talking about, yo, there might not be no more Warzone? What is the only game that doesn't understand the gameplay loop? Warzone. I'm telling you, the answers are in our faces. Everybody out here who's like, I don't understand, you're being naive. You're being ignorant. You understand very well what's wrong with Warzone. Warzone doesn't have a gameplay loop anymore. It did in the first Warzone. In the last 4 years, it's been trash. Because everything is just move. There's no downtime. There's no chill time. There's no regain time. How many times have you guys played Warzone and you think, yo, I just killed the dude, and in the middle of you trying to put a plate on, another dude runs through the door and kills you? Third party, fourth party. You know, you're fighting one team and 5 other teams are shooting you from across the map. Bro, there's no downtime in this game, and people just get tired of that. People get tired of that. Yo, it's obvious why Warzone is dying, and guess what? Fortnite is doing just fine. Apex is doing just fine. PUBG is doing just fine. Why? Gameplay loop. Downtime. Highs and lows. It's not difficult, guys. It's not difficult. We're just being stubborn. We're just being stubborn with Call of Duty. Yeah, facts, 50. Everyone's a Terminator out here, bro. Everyone's a Terminator. That's literally what it feels like. It feels like, yo, like, okay, I'm going to battle and everyone I'm fighting is the Terminator. Literally and metaphorically. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's wild about it. Like, these content creators, not Ghost of Hope, because he's just saying in general, like, IW won't make it if it doesn't return players. But like, I see so many content creators who keep saying, oh my God, why is Warzone dying? How come nothing works? They gave us more guns and people don't want to play. They gave us more of this. People don't want to play. Why? You guys are being ignorant. You know why. You know why, bro. There's too much junk in the game, son. Start stripping stuff off. Start taking stuff off. That's also how I ended up with 2 kids, but that's a different conversation. You got to start taking stuff off, man. I'm sorry. There's too much junk in Warzone, and the gameplay loop sucks. And give me a better gunsmith. You know, look, all of you in chat, y'all are on it. Y'all are on it. Y'all know exactly what this game needs. Y'all are all on it. Better gunsmith, simplicity of guns, more variety. You know, the downtime, the gameplay loop. Y'all are on it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. And that's why I love my community, because y'all get it. Y'all get it. I don't have to convince y'all of anything. Y'all get it. Like, we just need less, man. There's too much stuff in the game. We just need less. I don't need 100. I don't need weapons from BO6, MW2, MW3. Like, I don't need all that in the game. I can only use 7 anyways, so I don't care. So, but I just wanted to yap for a little bit, and I appreciate y'all for stopping by. But I had to have this talk because all this stuff came out yesterday. You know, the game delay and IW saying, yo, we might kill Warzone. Hell yeah, a whole battle royale with just a pistol. Everybody, just pistols running around the map. Let's see who could really shoot out here. No tacticals, no lethals, bro. Just pistol and pistol ammo all around the map. Let's see who could do their thing for real. You a shooter? Come on, let's go. Shooter, shoot. Let's go. Everybody got a pistol and pistol ammo. Nothing else on the map. You don't even get a map. No UAVs, nothing. You better use your eyes. So, but yeah, that's it. I just wanted to yap a little bit. I'm glad y'all stopped by. I appreciate all the feedback. I'm glad we could talk about this. I'm glad we could have an open conversation, because this is what we need. We need more of this. We need real conversations, bro. And real conversations with real people. Like, I'm tired of the conversations just being, you know, the Call of Duty sweats who only talk about the way they see the game, and then they forget, like, yo, you understand the average person doesn't think or play the game like you? Do you understand that? You know what I'm saying? Like Dirk said earlier, Dirk plays with his son. Do you understand that Dirk's son probably doesn't see the game the way you do? Maybe he does, but I'm saying every kid is not going to see the game the way like this. Every adult is not going to see the game like this. Every person is not trying to be a sweat. They don't care. They just want to play a video game and have fun and chill. I used to, one of the things I did the most, not to go on a tangent, but I remember when I was in my teens and 20s, one of the things I did the most, I used to just drive up to just like the public basketball courts and play pickup games with whoever was around. I wasn't trying to go to the NBA. I wasn't trying to make any team. I was just trying to have a good time playing basketball with whoever wanted to play. And it's the same thing with video games. I just want to be able to get on a game. Hey, who's on? Oh, you want to run? You want to run some games? Yeah, bet. Let's go. That's it. I just want to play some games, bro. I don't want to overthink this shit. I'm not trying to be a sweat. I don't care. I'm not trying to get 81 kills. I don't care about that. I do not care about that. I just want to have a good time. That's it. That's it. But yeah, appreciate it. I appreciate everyone, and I value everyone's opinion, man. I'm glad we had this conversation, and I'm glad y'all understand it, because everything y'all told me as far as feedback is exactly what I've been thinking. So it proves my point. More of the community thinks like us than the way these content creators think. So I'm glad y'all were in here, because it proves my point. More of the community thinks the way we do, and this is how we're gonna save the game. We need people who think like us. The game has to be for people like us. Like, I hate to say it. If you need that dopamine fix, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. But that's it. That's all I got. Everybody stay safe.